Hi everybody, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about how to create power habits. Why do you want power habits? Because that's where the money is, ladies and gentlemen. They are part of the 5 points that I think you want to address if you really want to make a breakthrough in your business. The first one is around shifting identity. Second one's about creating power habits. And then it's about having a process to ask anyone for anything, to turn relationships into advocates, and to accept that you are your own biggest obstacle and what can you do to get out of your own way. As you know, I've been coaching financial advisors for over 20 years, and not just advisors, but people in other business development roles. So in today's video, I want to talk about creating power habits. And while that might sound almost like a generic phrase, understand that a power habit is the thing that gets you 80% of the results for often much less than 20% of your actions. It could be something that takes you a minute or two a day, potentially. So in other words, a really specific referral request, if you do 3 good ones of those a week, you're in really good shape. My favorite examples of power habits are something like 3 specific referral requests a week, even 1 stretch ask a week. Could be more, but 1 could be very compelling if you do it week in, week out, week in, week out. Other types of power habits could be things like date nights. It could be your workouts. It could be things that have those big ripple effects. So those are a couple of good examples on the personal side, but let's be honest, you probably want to hear about the ones that make the most money. So those were a couple of the ones I prefaced earlier, the specific referral request, the stretch ask. Other ones, though, that are really compelling is having a point system for your prospecting. And the point to all of this, the point to the habit is that it's consistent, right? Is that you do it without thinking. You do it whether you feel like it or not. You do it whether you're motivated or not. And the point is that it becomes a routine that's on autopilot. That's why it's so powerful. And that's what so few people have. And so that's really what I want you to encourage you to do. Let me give you another different example. I had a client several years ago, and his power habit was really about having an additional 2 meetings per week with either prospects or clients. And he didn't even hit that goal. He got 1.5 extra meetings per week. But keep in mind, he did it for 40 weeks. He had a 35% increase in his income that year. He went from 350 to 500K in income. And that's not unusual when you implement this power habit week in, week out. And that's why it's so powerful. So what seems like kind of a small thing, we have to remember it's this cumulative progress that we're going to make over and over again. And that's what I've seen with other clients. I had a client 2 years ago who implemented the habit around stretch asks. Now he committed to 3 a week. That year, he actually made about what he was expecting. It wasn't an amazing year, 2019. For his company, it was about average outcomes. He brought in about 35 million in assets. However, he carried on the habit into the following year, and last year was his best year. He brought in over 100 million in assets because he kept up the same habit. And that's again, so I'm not playing with the word power. I'm not exaggerating its effectiveness, its impact. And for you, it's to identify, maybe that's really what you can put in the comments section, is what would be a great power habit for you that would make a significant difference once it's something that you're doing week in, week out. My last comment on this topic today is use a habit tracker. Keep track of this stuff, again, day in, day out, and don't be frightened of that accountability. In fact, get that dopamine hit from checking the box that you've done it. And if you have to start small because you've gotten rusty or you've fallen off the wagon, I totally understand, it happens to everybody, then by all means, start small with 1 specific ask per week. And then gradually build that up and up and up until you're getting the outcomes that you want on a consistent basis. But that's the power of it all. And then my last tip is, as you start to do this and get better, I urge you, use a habit tracker. This thing is absolutely priceless. I swear by it. I've been using it religiously for over 2 years. And it's the perfect way to get those constant dopamine hits throughout the day that you're doing the right thing. And even if you have a bad cold or you go on vacation, you can quickly get back on the wagon because you've created the recipe. It even includes a section on power habits. So go to the link in the description and you're welcome to grab a copy of the one I use and I've developed. It's even got reminders on mindset at the top and who you want to become, which is something I've talked about in other videos. So please just get in action. Drop a note in the comments section about which power habit sounds like the most useful one for you, and I can't wait to see you on the next video.